All right, let us tackle this question on the postmodernism context. Does being authentic construe to be individualistic, self-conscious, or relativistic? In the context of modernism, being authentic takes on a complex and often paradoxical character. It is not a straightforward context or concept. It is deeply intertwined with ideas of individualism, self-consciousness, and relativism. Here is a breakdown. Postmodernism is characterized by a skepticism toward grand narratives and universal truths. It is a tricky philosophical term, and it is something that people cannot understand. Some people allege that postmodernism is just just a word that the nuances cannot be ascertained. And others allege that postmodernism is just a result of communism or Marxism, etc. And still others claim that postmodernism is just but a word. It doesn't have any essence, or it's not important at all. You can live as you want in this postmodern society. Yet, postmodernism is characterized by relativism. As I said earlier, relativism means that what is authentic for one person or group may not be true for another, and there is no single authoritative definition. So, in other words, what is true to me is not necessarily true to you. And what is true to you is not necessarily true to me. So whatever is your basis of your humanity does not serve as a role to my humanity or some other perception. To each its own. In other words, you cannot oblige another just because this is your opinion. You can impose your opinion on another, or that other person cannot impose on your opinion. Another aspect of postmodernism is individualism and self-consciousness. What it implies in a modern world where traditional sources of authority are questioned, the individual becomes a central figure in creating their own meaning. So, in postmodernism, meaning is not standardized. It is not based on one standard or objective standard. And there is no meaning. It is a form of philosophy that one person doesn't have to follow the meaning of another. So I have my own meaning. He has his own meaning, or another person has his own meaning. The same is true with any kind of individual has to have his own meaning, because meaning is not innate or inherent on any human being. Meaning is being built or constructed into your life by yourself. You do not get it from somebody else. So In traditional Christianity, meaning is based on what religion says or Christianity says, or what the Bible teaches about meaning. Meaning is in biblical context. Meaning is God. Meaning is Christ. Meaning is absolutely objective, not dependent on the person. But in postmodernism, there is no meaning like you ascribe it from God or to God or somebody else. Meaning is actually senseless in postmodern context. So there is no such thing as universal meaning. In fact, in postmodernism, there is no meaning of anything. That is why everyone, every person, every human being has to make up his own meaning in order to live, because you cannot live without meaning. So in order to live, you have to construct your own meaning. So, however, the individualism is often accompanied by a strong sense of self-consciousness. Individuals are aware that their identities are constructed, not innate, and they engage in a constant process of self-reflection and self-presentation. So that is self-awareness. You are always self-conscious. That means you are authentic if you are conscious about yourself. You are not authentic if you do not behave like yourself. If you behave on something else, you're not authentic. Like the person who is masking himself as another person, like this in the movies or in drama, in role playing. If you role play someone's identity, you are not authentic. That is the meaning of the authentic in postmodern context. Postmodernism thought also heavily analyzes the effects of mass media and a constant bombardment of signifiers. This creates a situation where individuals are very aware of how they portray themselves and how they are being perceived. The problem of authenticity, I mentioned earlier about authentic self or authentic personality. In postmodernism, postmodern thinkers often question whether true authenticity is even possible. I mentioned earlier as well that meaning is constructed, the same as the authenticity of the self. You construct it. So the possibility of an authentic system is next to impossible in the modern context. So you construct your authenticity. To be authentic is to be yourself, according to postmodern concept or philosophy. And one thing that I emphasize in the idea of postmodernism is the concept of hyperreality, as described by Jean Baudrillard, further complicates this issue. In a hyperreal world, simulations or simulation of representations become more than the originals, blurring the lines between authenticity and artifice. So in the hyperreality idea in the postmodernist philosophy is the simulating of something. And simulating is actually you are not original, you are just role-playing something. You are not taking something that is universal. It is a constructed idea or something to behave like you are in the real world, but you are not. In essence, in a postmodern context, being authentic is less about finding an essential self and more about acknowledging the constructed nature of identity, navigating the complexities of cultural influences, creating personal meaning in a relativistic world. So in postmodern world, it is actually a world that is controlled or constructed by the individual self. So the individuals in a postmodern society construct their own world. It is not an objective world. It is a constructed world that is by individuals. Therefore, while it can involve individualistic expression, it's always understood within a framework of self-consciousness and relativism. And that is the only thing that I can say about postmodernism at the moment. And if you have questions, you can ask on the space provided. Thank you for listening.